Hi, I'm Hakeem Dubois, founder and creative director of Decade Lifestyle. Today we're here to shoot a day in the life of Dhaval Bhanusali, award-winning celebrity dermatologist, and we're here in his office. Come follow me. Hey, how's it going?
Good to see you.
Good to see you.
Welcome to the humble abode. Want to walk around here, show you everything's going on?
One of many, right? You have about, how many offices do you have?
We have one main one here. I go to Miami though quite a bit. But this is home. This is the spaceship. This is where everything, all the magic happens, and this is where we'll be for a while. So.
Congrats. I know you have a couple here, and one in Miami, and...
So yeah, I'm a little bit all over the place. I teach at Sinai, but here I do my research. I have my tech companies, my skincare lines, everything kind of comes from here. So our development guys come here on weekends, and it's a full-fledged house. 4 days a week we're seeing patients, 1 day just tech. So you got a little bit of everything.
So speaking of patients, I know you have a long, high clientele list, and do you want to go into that? Or?
I mean, so the big thing with here, we protect privacy. We're lucky to have some of the more well-known human beings on earth kind of roll through here, but it's New York, right?
Yeah.
So it's kind of fun because everybody's normal, and we treat everybody the same, everybody's like family, so it works. And New York is kind of cool because somebody might see a celebrity and not really react as much, maybe not the same anywhere else, so we get lucky, but it's cool always to see our patients on TV, movies, all that stuff, so when they do well, I feel like I do well, so it's all part of the family, so we appreciate that.
Well, congrats on that.
Appreciate it.
You want to show me around? I think I've been to the other office that you had in Flatiron, but I've never been to this one yet. So
yeah, this is the new home base. This is the new spaceship. So I'm in Miami. We usually once a month or so, but this is our main place now. We're doing tech development, skincare lines. We're seeing patients 4 days a week. So we do a little bit of everything. It's kind of our ground zero for innovation. This is my favorite little art piece. It's our Instagram wall, if you will. It's been cut out. I have a little bit of the Hudson Yards feel in this office. We keep the brick in the background. You got the H there.
This is cool too. It's almost like the haunted house.
Yeah, we think it's a cool vibe. Here are some of the things that we've created or launched. We have that hair company that's in about 1,000 plus offices. We have this tech company.
So what does this do for your hair?
So that's we essentially have prescription compounds that grow hair. So you have your minoxidil, your finasteride, but we can do topical versions at higher strengths to get great hair results. And those are some of the first samples we ever did with it. And then we kind of evolved it, so now it's national, so it's been all over the place. And the same with the other one, the skin medicinals. That one's more to kind of help the world. And the goal with that was to bring down drug pricing, which I think we've done a pretty decent job with.
So how much is let's say, something like this cost?
So it depends. It depends what's in there. If it's a drug for like an eczema or acne, it could be $20 or $22. If it's for anti-aging, we can custom create an anti-aging product for somebody too, which is a little bit more pricey, but it's still way more reasonable than having to go through a traditional means. So with all these companies, we're really trying to do something good for the world, and those were no exceptions. And over here, we've done some cool launches. We did a couple weeks ago, we did Neutrogena Vino Cleaning Clears 2020 launch, so we have some products from there. There's the Chinese one. They did a global launch for Hydro Boost. The bottom layer here is called the Amazon. So we launched Amazon's first exclusive skincare line. So those are some of the products from there, which was a little bit nerve-wracking, trying to launch to about 1 billion people or so. So it was,
typically, how long does it take going from like testing to the public?
Depends.
I know it varies, but what's the longest product ever?
It could take years. Like some of those hair formulas took years to create and test and do all that. Some of these took a few months, but it was a lot of sleepless nights. So
I can imagine.
It's part of the process. We love building cool things. So this is it's not just about seeing patients all day, but it's about creating things for people that might not be able to make it to the office. This is our little conference room. We do a lot of meetings in here. We have pretty fun, kind of cool, innovative ideas, topics. We have companies that have launched from here, companies that are launching soon. People fly in from everywhere, and this is kind of the war room, if you will. We go through everything.
So what is can you name? Is it too soon to tell?
All too soon. Everything's
all too soon. Right?
This
is a top secret room, folks.
Yeah. So this is. We've had some very big names trying to launch some really big things. It's exciting. I mean, that's the fun part. Again, you get to kind of have a front seat to like the future of skincare and health.
So So the latest, what would you say? I mean, what's the latest product that you've launched recently?
I mean, Amazon was a few months ago. We have a bunch. There'll be a couple more hitting the market soon, but this 2020 launched for Neutrogena, so we launched their whole portfolio, all the new topicals that they're launching, Clean and Clear, same thing, and we have a new device coming up from Procter & Gamble that we'll be helping launch in probably like 2-3 months or so as well. So their first at-home device. So a lot of cool stuff coming. We have a lot of fun friends over here that do some pretty cool stuff with us. And this is my personal office. We always joke.
So you're a basketball fan.
Oh, Michigan State always. Usually my Mac has the office stuff going on. My tech stuff is running through here. My iPad might have some skincare stuff going on. So
This looks interesting.
so that one we use sometimes for injections and things like that.
Oh, really? Okay.
This one I probably have to hide from you guys.
Oh,
This
it's not ready yet, right?
There's another skincare line that's launching soon, and so
You can show me off the camera.
so off the camera, but it's fun. Like you'll see that in stores around the country soon. Here we have, this is more of our clinical side of everything, so we do a lot of our bigger cases here.
And we'll have a patient here today, right?
Yeah, so we're doing kind of an investigative kind of patient case, a few of them actually, where we're looking at a new technology that hasn't launched yet. It'll launch probably sometime next year, maybe the year after, and we're helping them kind of figure out how to use it, how to get the settings, how to really get the results and push the limits of the machine, because there's no, a lot of times there's no blueprint for the stuff that we have in here, and we have to figure it out. But that's the fun part, because you're not really like following anybody else's path. You're kind of creating your own, which I think is super cool. So.
That's cool. And this machine here is
Yeah, so this is the one. This is it's a radio frequency plasma device, so it should be safe in all skin types, which I'm really excited about, especially with darker skin types. Scars, tightening, a lot of different things. So
definitely.
it's FDA approved, but again, it's not available anywhere else. So we'll see. To be determined.
Yeah, it's funny you mentioned all skin types, because I was in my earlier years, high school, college, I was always leery of the laser, but nowadays we come to a day and time where it's more advanced, and it can service all pigmentation. So
yeah, I mean, big thing is make sure you go to people who are trained in this stuff. Unfortunately, a lot of people go to these med spas and people get burned and things like that. So you still have to be careful, especially darker skin types. But I think the board certified derms, plastic surgeons, we have a better understanding kind of how technology works, physics works, how to be mindful of certain settings and all that stuff, and how hot you can make something, how you have to heat something, and you can get really good results with safely. Anyway, so this is my favorite part of the office. This is my little trap door. So this is, well, some do this for numbing. It's also my secret way of getting in and out. And then if we have maybe a VIP patient who might not want to be, want to keep it on the low, they come in through here, go straight to a little
I'll go walking fast.
And usually nobody knows, and that's how we like it.
Oh, that's cool. Top secret.
Top secret, always. We have a nursing station in there. This is more the clinical side of everything. And so here we have more of our medical. We do some Botox, some fillers and stuff like that here, but smaller, some smaller procedures, eczema, psoriasis. I still love medical dermatology because doctor always. So cosmetics is great, but you got to be a good person first. And I think helping those people who come in who need help, that's what we're here for, right?
Yeah.
So that's why I still love all that stuff. I will always do it forever and ever. Here we do bigger cases. I cut out a skin cancer yesterday in here. We do a lot of laser cases. We do bigger filler cases, things like that. So a little bit more space to breathe. In New York, you have to be mindful of everything.
And you also do not only just problematics, issues with the face, but with the hair as well, right?
Yeah. So we're going to be doing hair transplants in this room soon. We're going to be training people to do transplants as well, so it'll be a kind of a fun education center. We have the hair company that we help develop hair topicals, but hair's fun because it's challenging. I like cool challenges, so there's a lot of room for innovation there, and I think that it's kind of a fun thing to approach and see, and our patients are probably the happiest when you see them growing little hair follicles they didn't have before. We always have fun, like little media things going on. We're really working on some tech stuff right now in here, but this right now we're using for storage. But this back half of the office and everything we use more. This is for our staff to hang out in, and then we have our lab over there as well. So we try our best to make this place fun for everybody. Our staff is family. We celebrate, all things and everything, and it's super cool to be able to really, build a community in this.
I like it. So it seems like a community. You don't even have to leave. You got your lunch here.
Yeah.
What do you guys have here?
We have everything. We have coffee. We have food. We have drinks. We have everything. We have champagne somewhere around here too. We celebrated a couple of patients' birthdays in here too. I don't partake, but listen, this is fun. This is home, right?
Yeah.
Not just
home. You're here for
home.
most of the day. You have to make it home.
Yeah, but even for the patients, this is a place they can escape. They can come hang out when we'll be having spa services soon. But this isn't you shouldn't feel like these walls should really help you kind of change whatever's going on outside. It's outside. When you come in through here, you're walking through this, this bright energy hits you, and that's what you want. You want people to escape from whatever issues they've had, and now they're in their own new home. And I think about this, when we built this thing from scratch, I want it to be transformative. I want people to really be happy when they're here and look forward to coming. And I think, knock on wood, we've done a pretty good job of it.
I think so.
Our patients, as you'll be meeting today, everybody's family, right? And so, they're happy to see you. Everybody gets hugs. It's, that's how we want everything. And today's our day off, remember, too. So our staff is happy to be here. So, we get really, really lucky. So we appreciate it. We can go hang in the red room.
One thing I wanted to ask you too. What would you say the number one problematic issue that most common people have with their skin?
Honestly, it's everybody thinks people are coming in for Botox and fillers and things like that. Basic stuff, having breakouts, scars, pigmentation is the biggest. Hyperpigmentation is a real big issue in all skin types, and evening out skin tone and things like that. We have such advances in technology now because of it, and I think you can get people really, really, really improved without the crazy expensive and long downtimes and things like that. But I think the biggest issue is people don't ever they don't go see a dermatologist, they don't do this, they buy 8 billion creams over the counter and they don't do anything. So my thing is look, we're here to help.
The uneven skin tone you mentioned before, the darker pigmentation. What do you see as a solution? Because it's a very I would say, you can correct me if I'm wrong, it's probably the number one issue with darker pigmentation, our skin tone is more so the uneven skin tone or blotchiness, or what would you say you think the solution? I know there's no quick solution to that, but
it's a combo, right? So first of all, sunscreen is big. There was a crazy article that said that darker skin types don't need sunscreen. That's completely false, right?
Yeah, I heard about that.
Crazy.
I didn't know what to believe, so I want to hear it from you.
My great grandmother died of a melanoma on his toe, so
really?
Darker skin types can definitely get skin.
Marlon
also did.
Yeah, I heard about that. Yeah, there's a big conspiracy theory. I'm not a conspiracy theorist, but I also don't cancel out everything either. So I don't know, how he died. But getting back to the issue, I don't want to go off on a tangent here. But when it comes to darker pigmentation, there's some who say that there's higher melanin in the skin, and that kind of wards off the harmful sun rays. And you beg to differ. You say that's not the case.
The UV damage is real, and if I biopsy your skin, you will get UV damage if you're out in the sun too long, right? You might have an extra SPF 15 in there, but it doesn't mean that you can keep pushing the limits. When I was younger, before I became a dermatologist, I had a sunburn. I didn't know I could get a sunburn, but I got one playing basketball all day long, right?
Yeah. How does that look like with our pigmentation?
It just looked darker. It actually didn't look redder; it just looked darker.
Really?
And it hurt like crazy. Yeah. Ooh. So, but even again, I've seen it. I've cut out skin cancers and darker skin types, so I can tell you I've seen it, right?
Yeah.
And so it's real. And so the number one thing you do is wear sunscreen. Then there's depending on what we're treating, there's certain ingredients we might do topicals, prescription topicals.
What do you think is the best sunscreen?
It depends. There's a lot of good ones. It depends on your skin type. If you have melasma or not, I like physical sunscreens for melasma. Personally, I think I like Elta MD a lot. I think Neutrogena has some really, really good ones that I personally use for myself and my family. Depends on the scenario, like chemicals.
I grew up using Neutrogena facial wash and all that stuff. They have good products though.
Yeah, they have great products. And so, for me, you don't have to spend a ton of money on something. You have to figure out what works for you. Some things are too thick for some person. It might be perfect for the next person. So, I never, I give recs and kind of a range of options for my patients, usually by looking at their skin, kind of taking all things into account. And then once we do that, I try a couple of these. They're all relatively inexpensive. See which one you like the most. Once you get it locked in, you're locked in for life, right? So make the right decision early so that you don't have to waste tons of money later. And so if you buy like, 5 or 6 like $5, $10 sunscreens and you try them all out and you see which one you like, it's not the worst thing in the world, right? Especially if you're going to be using that one forever now. That's a big part of it. And then with the topicals, again, we look at the type of pigmentation. Is it superficial, deep? What's safe in your skin type? Can I do lasers? Can I not do lasers? Do I need lasers? What's your downtime? And in New York, we have lasers for everything. But we have some very important people in here who can't take a day off of work or an hour off of work, right? So, if I have somebody going on a red carpet that next night, how do I treat them? How much downtime can they have? I've had patients go on red carpets that night, right? So everything is a little bit more personalized, and we have to figure out like how do we get these people to where they need to be the right way. So it depends.
And now you also have well, obviously it's a minority, but you have some people who are holistic and they don't want to use any products and they want everything like to be raw and all natural, and they don't want anything to be pharmaceutical or anything like that. Like what advice or what daily regimen would you say you would recommend for those people? Obviously when it's not pharmaceutical, it might work, but it takes so much longer, and it's but what would you recommend?
Everything in life's balanced, right? Like I'm cool with doing natural stuff. I like Ayurvedic stuff. I think the natural skincare world is getting more and more information and data and research, and it should. I think with ingredients like Bokushio, which is coming out, so a plant-based version, almost like a retinol. I'm down for it, right? But then even retinol, I think people sometimes they assume too much and they don't really do their research and they believe what they read on some blog. Like retinoic acid, it sounds scary. It's vitamin A, right? It's a vitamin, right? You take vitamins in your food and vegetables and stuff like that. You put it on your skin, like it's a vitamin, right? And so people are, I don't want to use a retinoid. It's a drug. I'm like literally a vitamin A topical. And so I think sometimes, it's that balance of figuring out what works, what doesn't work. I don't like my patients on oral medications for too long, or, if they don't have to be. I really do think of what I do for my own family. And I think there's a very nice balance. Sometimes you have to treat people. If you're scarring and stuff like that, I might have to elevate and go a little bit stronger. If you're not scarring, we come up with a regimen that works. I think that's fine. And I think part of it's just you gotta have the conversation's most important. Learning your patient, learning your doctor, and finding something that works for both sides. Because I never tell anybody exactly what to do. I give them the options, and I'm like, look, this is kind of where we're rolling. You tell me what sounds right, what feels right, and we can alternate this. If it doesn't work, this is our option. This doesn't work, or if this is working, we'll roll with this. But I think you have to have that balance, because communication, you can't. That's why this place isn't a factory. I spend time with my patients. I hang out with them. We come up with a dual game plan, and magically everybody gets better. So it's. I think when you take the time to really, for both sides, to do your due diligence and have a real connection, then everything works out.
That's a great answer. It's a great answer. And then that's for the holistic side. Now for the pharmaceutical, if you were to, I know it's a case by case thing, but what do you recommend everyone, whether male or female, around our age bracket, do from day to day? Like some people say, I only do a facial cleanse and then a serum and then maybe a moisturizer. I mean, what would you say? What type of? Because especially as guys, a lot of us guys, we don't really take good care of our skin like that. So what would you recommend, like in from start to finish, day and night regimen for?
So always back to basics, right? Like you don't see any dermatologists with 30-step skincare routines, right? No. And maybe I'm a little older than people think I am, but I'm not the oldest of guys, right? So maybe I don't look as old as some people, but I think basics are important, right? So you cleanse every day, morning and night. You do gentle cleanse, I'm cool with that, right? You put on your moisturizer in the morning with a little SPF in it. I put on the Aveeno one every day because it's SPF 30, and I get dark spots sometimes, so there's a little soy in there, which helps. It's usually it in the morning, and sometimes I throw
So
in
you
an
put
accident.
the moisturizer before the SPF? Or you put the SPF first?
SPF with the moisturizer.
Oh, you blend it, you combine it.
A
Okay.
lot of them come with it, so
A lot
it's
of them
well.
come- okay.
You can add an antioxidant in the morning if you want to, like a vitamin C, or I get really sensitive to vitamin C, so I kind of minimize it, and I put it into my retinoid at nighttime. But your nighttime routine, you cleanse your face because you have all this pollutants there, and then you can use your retinoid. Your retinoid is your vitamin A or Bakuchiol if you don't want to do that retinoic acid or it's too strong. I like to put in my retinoic acid, I put in vitamin C, vitamin E, we custom create it, right? So I put hyaluronic acid because I get dry really quick and irritated. So for me, it's a little bit more about personalization. And then we create one and then that's it. And then it's really simple. We don't have, again, toners, I don't really think toners are necessary. Serums can be great, but it depends what are you treating. You're looking for brightness, are you looking for antioxidants to help neutralize that, like the damage from the sun?
I think your average individual probably just wants to glow. You know what I mean?
So then throw in an axe in the morning, but I think less is more in life. I have some people who break out from
Using
using
so
too
many
much
products.
Yeah, just because it's available doesn't mean you have to buy
You
it.
have to do it, yeah.
And so it's for me it's all about balance, right? You have a good skin routine, you'll be fine.
And then when it comes to facials, which is like exfoliation, I hear that you're supposed to maybe take it once a month. I mean, I hear all sorts of stuff, coming from the horse's mouth.
Yes.
Like, what do you recommend?
So it depends what you're doing it for, right? If you're just doing maintenance, once a month is fine, once every 6 weeks. If you have an event, I think they're great. I think facials will last maybe about a week or so you have to remember that it's not like forever. We do laser versions, a lot of that stuff that lasts a little bit longer.
Yeah.
We do even bigger laser versions that last even longer. And
Microdermabrasions and stuff?
Microderma's still more in the facial world, but we do like a Genesis type laser that might last a little bit. Clear and Brilliant or the Halo Light is what we do more for a couple times a quarter or a couple times a year, excuse me. And we can do a big Halo treatment, which is more once a year, which is kind of like your Fraxel, your fractionated laser, which helps with kind of everything and maintenance and getting the skin taut. And then if I'm correcting, like if I have somebody who's a little bit older who wants to lose the wrinkles or whatever, I can literally take off that top layer of skin and create a new layer.
Wow.
And so it all depends on...
How long does that take to heal?
It takes a while, up to 2 to 3 weeks, because we have to let the skin re-up to...
So you have to stay at home.
Yeah, so,
for sure.
So that one's limited more by downtime, but the results are also transformative, right? And we've had patients flying from all over the country and the world
Really?
For those treatments, yeah. So
And give or take on average, how much does a treatment like that cost?
it's expensive because usually it's a one-time thing. You do it every few years if you need to, but it can be a couple $1,000s. So I think it's like $3,000 or $4,000, something like that. But like I said, it's transformative. You on average look about 5 to 7 years younger, which is it's pretty interesting. So it's a great treatment, but not everybody needs it. So we try to be super transparent. And we look not everybody needs, like I said, everything, and so you got to find the right mix for the right person, and that's the most important thing.
Now, speaking of facials, you have some of the more popular facials in Hollywood. For example, the vampire facial, which was made popular by Kim Kardashian and a few other notables in Hollywood. Can you explain the process of that and also the benefits?
Sure. So vampire facial really refers to microneedling, like a microneedling facial. Sometimes with PRP, which is your own blood that you sometimes put on there to help with stimulating growth factors to help new collagen and really just kind of make everything pop a little bit more. It's a good treatment. Downtime is legitimate, especially in darker skin types. We can do a little hyperpigmentation. It's a good treatment for, let's say, light acne scarring or just one of those superficial pop. I like more lasers in general. I think microneedling is in my darkest of skin types the most safe option. And so, is it my first line? Always, not necessarily, but in certain patients it can be. It depends. Like I said, you have to play with everybody depending on if they have oily skin, not oily skin, if they have scarring, pinpoint scars, pores. We play with different options for different patients, but we do keep an ear towards Hollywood because a lot of times trends do start, people come asking for it. I do caution with Instagram, be super careful because a lot of times really unqualified people are doing really weird things.
You offer that here?
Vampire facial we do have here, or a variation of it. But the thing about here is we never do anything like anybody else. Like we have our own mixes and matches. Just like lasering, everyone's like, what laser am I using? And I could be using 5 different lasers on the same person in the same treatment. Kind of like how you saw, we were doing different layering of, whether we're heating deep and then we're putting a laser on top or we're resurfacing a different way. It's very not cookie cutter. So I think that's how you get the results you need. You have to really look at each person and figure out what do I need to do here? And if you just do one thing over and over, you're only gonna get one result over and over. But if you want really good results, you have to mix and match a bit.
Wow. Thank you. I really appreciate you explaining that. And the most common, one thing before we go, the most common thing that people do come in here for, you would say as far as procedures go, is what would you?
And we see like, I don't know, like 10, 15 Botoxes a day.
Yeah.
At this point, it's like part of the wellness routine. So, but it's good. I mean, it works well. We're a very light hand here, so we do like more like a microtox kind of approach.
Botox is so huge now.
Yeah,
it's ridiculous.
And it just eases everything.
It used to be, like, not to cut you off, it used to be, I remember when Botox first hit the market, and it was more of a older demographic.
Yeah.
But now we see a change of all ages now using Botox now.
We do it for everything, right?
Yeah.
I've shaped, like I've thinned out cheeks and jaws, and we've used it for, some people use it for headaches. We use it for everything from even like sweating and things like that. So there's a lot of different uses for it. But again, I said, it's part of like people go to the gym to look a certain way and to feel good about themselves. This just helps. There's no, we're very not pushy here. So, my thing is that if it makes you feel good, do it. If you don't want it, don't do it. Like there's no pressure or anything. It should be about you. Like nobody should talk you into anything. You should feel empowered. So if you feel like the best version of yourself, then do it. If you want to hold off. There's no. You shouldn't. We have a rule here. You never talk somebody into anything. Yeah. And so our job is to provide options. And I think a lot of times patients come in, and I think Botox and any neuromodulator or even fillers, it's part of their routine, right? Some people go to the gyms, some people do this, and we do all of the above. But you have to feel like the best version of yourself, and when it comes to aging on your own terms, right? Like you don't want to look like a 21-year-old at 50, but you can be a really good-looking 50-year-old, right?
Yeah, exactly.
That's how, and a good-looking version of yourself. And I think that's the art which hopefully is becoming more and more prevalent and common. Is again, I hate when patients come in and are like, I want to look like so and so. I'm like, no, look like you. Like that's cool. You be you. It's fine. If you want to tweak something, we'll tweak something. But there's no need to look at somebody because they don't even look like that, right?
Yeah.
With these filters and Photoshop and all that stuff. So, and we know some of these people are our patients, and so, like not everybody looks like that. So, for me, like it's, I try to be super practical and super honest with everybody. And there's a lot of fine lines we have to walk, especially with cosmetics and stuff. But it's like how would you treat your own family? If your mom was asking a question, how would you answer it? If your sister was asking, how would you answer it? And so we like to take the same approach with our patients. So yesterday we had somebody who did just a touch, and they want to do a lot more. And I was like, no, let's just start, and then we'll decide later if we need to do more. But let's take a baby step in because it's a big decision to do.
Yeah. So I like that. I like the fact that you're different from a lot of other physicians, because some people, they just allow their patients to keep going and to where it's you're not looking even human anymore.
Yeah, exactly. So that will not happen in our offices. We are very good about that stuff.
Yeah.
And people deem if they want to cross the line, then we recommend other options for them, but we just can't be the ones that do it. And so your integrity is what you have at the end of the day, right? And you can't ever compromise that. So we try our best to do it the right way, and God forbid, that we do something that somebody's not happy with, but really we have to also be at peace with decisions we make too, so it's important.
Of course. Thank you for your integrity, and I thank you for your time, and it must feel amazing, being a part of so many people's lives and making them look and feel good and feel better about themselves. So it's a philanthropic deed that comes along with this.
I appreciate you, my friend. I got a fun job. I love my office. I love my staff. I love my patients, and I think hopefully you see a little bit of it today, where it's different. We really do try to build that community, and if we're doing positive things and the world's more positive for it, that's all I can ask for. So you guys are welcome anytime.